What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny. We are back with another This Week in Destiny, giving you guys all the heads up on everything that you can expect for the up and coming week. So if you want to find out more about the return of Solstice, the latest VOW the Disciple Raid challenge, all the latest information about the featured raid and dungeon, all the dares loot, a full breakdown of the weekly rituals, and more importantly what Tess has available for Bright Dust this week, then be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below. And remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Just over 60% of the viewers of the channel aren't currently subscribed, so be sure to hit that red button and ring that bell to make sure you don't miss an update. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Another week and another This Week in Destiny. This week sees the return of Solstice to Destiny 2. With that we see Eva Levante return to the tower with some awesome new cosmetics to earn and some sweet armor glows to chase. Now the EAZ will also be returning, and with that we see a brand new activity called Bonfire Bash. This new activity will go a long way to earning the brand new materials we need to unlock the stat potential for our Solstice armor. As well as amazing armor in this year's event, there's also a brand new hand cannon, and on top of that we got a brand new origin trait exclusive to Solstice weapons. So if you're going to be jumping into the Solstice of Hero, be sure to jump over to the tower upon this week's weekly reset, grab your event card and start completing those challenges to earn some of the best armor stats available in the game. Now from here we're going to jump over to the VOW of the Disciple Raid challenge, and this week's raid challenge is called Base Information. Now this challenge takes place in the Caretaker encounter, and you can only pick up one stack of knowledge from a single glyph per run. Now to get this challenge done, you'll need to have clear roles and excellent communication, and if you're running this on Master, each time you enter a glyph into the totem, this will spawn overload champions on each side of the arena. This certainly ramps up the difficulty of this challenge, but if you can nail it on the Master difficulty, you'll not only get your hands on an additional raid chest, but you'll also get your hands on some sweet Adept raid loot. Now from here we're going to move over to the featured raid and dungeon for the up and coming week. This week sees us return to the Last Wish raid over in the Dreaming City. Now out of all the raids, this has some of the most encounters available in any raid in Destiny 2, and if you can absolutely nail Riven and finish the Queen's Walk, then Last Wish will grant you an additional pinnacle reward. So if you're still finding yourself on the power grind, then make sure to get the Last Wish done to get your hands on it. And to go hand in hand with the Last Wish raid, we also see the Shattered Throne return as the featured dungeon for the up and coming week. Much like the Last Wish raid, you'll need to defeat the final boss, who is Dol Inkaru, and once again if you're able to take her out, she'll also grant you an additional pinnacle reward. So whether you find yourself running the entire raid and dungeon, or you're just going to be checking out the boss checkpoints for those quick pinnacle rewards, make sure that you jump into both the Last Wish raid and the Shattered Throne this week. Now next up we're going to move on to Dares of Eternity in this 30th anniversary pack activity, and once again we have two new armor sets available this week. We have the Jinshim Knight suit set, which is the old armor set from IO back in Destiny 2 Vanilla, and that's alongside the Karios Function suit set, which is the old armor set once again, this time from Curse of Osiris. So if you're filling out your transmog collection, then these armor pieces can drop during the course of the activity or upon activity completion itself. But if you're not seeking out armor and you want those god roll weapons, then we have a massive range of weapons this week, all from Season of Arrivals and Season of the Worthy. These include the Nature of Beasts hand cannon, the Fallen Guillotine sword, the False Promises auto rifle, the Temptations hook, the Cold Denial pulse rifle, the Whispering Slab bow, the Hollow Words fusion rifle, the Serenth Seraph carbine, the Officer revolver, the CQC-12 shotgun, the SI-2 sidearm, the VY-7 submachine gun, the Serenth Seraph sword machine gun, and also the Truth Teller grenade launcher. Some of these weapons are still absolutely top tier and can only be obtained from the Dares of Eternity activities, so if you're still chasing them down, then make sure to jump into Dares to get your hands on them. Now next up we have a new featured weekly mission from the Witch Queen campaign, and this week's mission is called The Cunning. Now for this mission we need to follow the lead from Finch and search the dark corners of Savathun's throne world for another clue on how she stole the light. Now, if you haven't been fortunate enough to run the Last Wish raid, which is the featured raid for the up and coming week, then this could have been your first opportunity when facing the Amankara. It's a key encounter in this mission, and much like the featured raid and dungeons, the featured weekly mission also provides an additional source of pinnacle loot. So once again, if that power grind is important to you, then make sure to get that Witch Queen mission done to get your hands on it. Now from here, we're going to move on to this week's up and coming Nightfall, and this week sees the Warden of Nothing return to rotation. If you weren't fortunate enough to gild your Conqueror Seal, then this week will be the week to cross off the Warden of Nothing off that list. Now in terms of exclusive Nightfall weapon, this week sees the Duty Bound also return to rotation. If you're running the Nightfall on the Hero, Legend or Master difficulty, this has a chance to drop the regular version of that weapon. But if you're looking to get your hands on the Adept version of any of the Nightfall exclusive weapons, you'll need to complete the Grandmaster difficulty in order to get your chance to get your hands on it. Is the Duty Bound a weapon you're willing to chase? Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And on top of the Duty Bound, it's also bonus Nightfall ranks all week long. These will contribute towards your Vanguard Operations Vendor, which is Commander Zavala over in the tower, and help you on your grind to the Chain of Command machine gun. So whether you're chasing down that weapon or the ornament for it for your seasonal challenges, this week is most definitely the week to farm out those Nightfalls to get your hands on it. Now as for the Crucible, this week sees Mayhem return to rotation. There are some seasonal challenges linked to Mayhem, so if these are still outstanding, then make sure to jump into Mayhem to get those challenges done. And this week also sees the return of Zone Control via Crucible Labs. Crucible Labs is Bungie's way of experimenting on potentially new game modes entering rotations into the Crucible. So if you haven't given it a try or given Bungie any of your feedback, be sure to jump in and let Bungie know your thoughts. Now from here, we're going to move on to the seasonal challenges for week 9 of Season of the Haunted, and we have just 6 available for the up and coming week. The first one's called Warm Resolve. So here you need to complete the Sever Resolve mission using only a solar subclass and solar kinetic and stasis weapons. That's alongside Cabal Tactics. So over on the Derelict Leviathan, you need to defeat combatants with rocket launch and final blows, and rapidly defeat combatants in groups of 3 or more. That's alongside Armory Wide Calibration, and here you need to calibrate kinetic energy and power weapons, and you get bonus progress against champions. Alongside that, we have Solar Gambit, and here you need to defeat targets with solar effects and get bonus progress for defeating Guardians. The penultimate challenge this week is called Trial by Fire Squad, and here you need to win multiple rounds in Trials of Osiris. By completing this challenge though, you'll get a chance to get your hands on a new Trials of Osiris weapon. So if Trials isn't something that you partake in on a regular basis, then make sure to get that challenge done to get your hands on some easy free Trials loot. The final challenge this week is called Solar Vanguard, and here you need to defeat combatants with solar effects in the Vanguard playlist. Now all these challenges provide excellent sources of Challenger XP, which contribute towards leveling up your artifact, but also Bright Dust, which brings us nicely onto the final section of this video, which is what Tess has available for Bright Dust in week 9 of Season of the Haunted. Now over in the featured Bright Dust shelf, we have an exotic emote called Breathe In. This is from a previous Solstice event and will also be available for 1,000 silver. But if you didn't want to spend real world money on it, this will set you back 3,250 Bright Dust instead. Alongside that, we have a rare emote called Happy Smiles. This is a new emote for this season and is the first time it's become available. So if you're looking to pick this one up, this will set you back 400 Bright Dust this week. Alongside that, we have a transmat effect called Beach Ball Effects. Now be prepared to see a lot of summer themed transmat effects throughout the course of Solstice. So if you're looking to pick it up, it will set you back 450 Bright Dust this week. Now as for this week's shader, this week's called Tangerine Gloss, and this is from a previous Solstice event. So if you missed out on it or didn't partake in Solstice last time it was in rotation, then make sure to pick this up, and this will set you back 300 Bright Dust this week. Over in the main Bright Dust store, we have the exotic emote called Festival Dance. This is also a returning emote from a previous event. Now it is possible to pick this up for 1,000 silver, or you can spend 3,250 Bright Dust on it. That's alongside a new legendary emote called Guarding Glaive. Much like the rare emote, this is the first opportunity this has become available, so if you're looking to pick it up, it will set you back 700 Bright Dust this week. That's alongside the Jubilant Ornament exotic Ghost Shell. Once again, another Solstice themed item. So if you missed out on this from the previous Solstice event, you can pick it up this time around, and this will see about 2,850 Bright Dust. That's alongside the Black Light Razor, an absolutely awesome sparrow from a previous Solstice event. So if you missed out on picking this up way back in season 3, then make sure to pick it up this time, and this will see back 2,500 Bright Dust. That's alongside the Soul Piercer, an absolutely awesome exotic ship. Once again, it's been a very long time since this has been available, so be sure to not miss out on it, and this will set you back 2,000 Bright Dust this week. The penultimate item on offer is the Buried Treasure Ghost Projection, another summer themed item, so if you're collecting these, this will set you back 1,500 Bright Dust this week. And the final item on offer is an exotic weapon ornament for the Merciless Exotic Fusion Rifle, and this is called the Beach Header. Now this ornament throws me all the way back to season 9 and the awesome story around Saint 14. So if you missed out on it once again back then, make sure to pick it up this week, and this will set you back just 1,250 Bright Dust. So there we have it guys, a good look on everything that you can expect for this week in Destiny. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.